This is the Old Musician's Blog, number 13. And I've been in the music room this morning, mostly trying to reorganize and get things ready for these upcoming gigs, because they all have different bits of equipment and different things that want to come with them. And for the keyboard job, I'm still trying to settle on the right amp, and I thought, well, maybe I'd take the little PA that I used to take all the time. But when I set it up, it just was too much to carry, too big and bulky and everything else, so I'm back to that really good PV amp that Paul gave me, and I'm really glad I have that, because that's a powerful amp and it has a lot of adjustment, and it also has a second channel, and with a little preamp that I have, I could accommodate a microphone if necessary. So that has there's extra options to it. So it looks like that's what's going to come along, and the light keyboard for that job. But anyway, I've been thinking a lot about about the social media and the exposure that I'm placing upon myself, my being, my soul level being, which seems to want to be, as it was the case, oftentimes when I was doing photographs back in the 80s, people would present themselves to me and they would say, psychically, they would say to me, "Remember me," and I would take the picture to remember who they were at that moment, and that really was where a lot of the energy for those pictures, I think, came from, was this sense of remembrance. And part of this moving into the social media is a way of us remembering ourselves and projecting the personalities of who we are into the digital realm. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that's something that I wanted, that I'm happy to participate in, for whatever the reasons are that I'm not quite sure. Partly my attachment to who I am, and my own mortality and immortality, and I don't know what some of the reasons are. Some of the reasons probably have to do with cultural, sociological environments that we're all exposed to throughout our lives. So I don't really understand all the reasons of why. But I find that the act of posting, and gaining likes or some kind of payment, which I think is a good thing, to have the feedback loop and to keep the feedback going. But it has also a kind of Pavlovian kind of aspect to it, which makes you want to please the environment that you're projecting into, and there's something I find resistant towards that, and I don't really have an answer for it, because I feel the desire and the attachment to wanting to be liked and all of these things, that are part and parcel of interacting with others socially. So I like I say, I don't really know what the answers to this are, but I find myself resistant to jumping through the hoops just because there are hoops there, and yet at the same time I jump through them too. So I have to organize my equipment in order to go and play the gig. That's part of the gig, so part and parcel of the thing. So that's what I'm thinking about this duality of self and aspects of self, and how to project some of those aspects into the environment and have it be part of the feedback and the feedback loop that is creative of all these aspects of the world as it is today, and maybe what it might be tomorrow, or whatever those things are.